he punched him like real hard in the face, for real.
Hello and welcome everyone to Filmmaking with. Today our guest will be Tristan. But before we start, we just want to tell you again, tune in for the next week Everfans show. We will be revealing some stuff about the short film that you are all waiting for. And without further ado, let's play that movie, Dylan.
You found him?
Yeah, but apparently I'm not the first one here.
You found his card?
It's 455 XPO.
4, 5. You sure you're at the right place? You're in 1999, right?
Yes.
Well, be careful. He's well trained. You sure you don't want any backups?
No. Consider it done.
So, hi Tristan, how are you?
Hey guys, thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. So let's go straight to the point. You're from Quebec, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you live like 4 hours away from us.
That's right.
So don't be surprised if you hear an accent, a strong one. You can't hear it in the movies though, so you practice your text a lot, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, so we're going to start with some question about you, first of all. When did you start making movies?
I started making short films about 2 years ago, but I've been making videos for about 6 years now, since I started a soccer channel with a bunch of my friends on YouTube when I was 11 years old. When my parents gave me my first camera, the GoPro Hero 1, on my 11th birthday. And from then on, I made a lot of videos, and I really got into photography. So I kind of backed away from the video aspect. And then that's where I learned a lot about composition and all that stuff. And in secondary four, we had to do a short film on a book that we read in class called The Outsiders, which I believe have a movie about it, directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Okay.
And I really wanted it to be like a big thing. So that's where I really got into short film. and that's where I learned a lot about editing, all aspects of filmmaking, and that's where I discovered Film Riot and channels like that on YouTube. And yeah, I really wanted to be a big thing, so I worked my ass off on that project. Wrote my first script, which is a lot based on the book, so didn't really do a lot there, but I wrote my first script, and yeah, pretty much did everything by myself because I wanted to learn as much as possible. Yeah, it was a very cool experience, and I fell in love with making short films, and it was so rewarding. Like I remember sitting there with all my classmates and watching my short film, and everybody was enjoying it. Everybody was laughing at the right moment. Like everything was perfect. Like I imagine it. It was so great. And after that, I posted it on YouTube, and I got like 800 views, which was crazy for me at that time. I wanted to do a bigger project. So that was really like my goal for the summer. And so we did the tests, which ended up writing the entire script, which was very bad. But I'm not a good writer, but that's something that I really want to focus more on the future, like writing, because I really want to create my own stories. And yeah,
Yeah. There's nothing like writing your own stories and making it into a movie.
oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's the most amazing thing, but it's also one of the hardest one.
yeah.
Um, you did mention your very first movie that actually got you into making films, and actually, yes, it is pretty rewarding to when you get a lot of compliment coming your way, and this is when you know that you're doing something really good when you have that feeling inside. Is there any way we can find that film now on YouTube?
Yeah, actually, it's on my channel. I didn't want to act in it. I really wanted to focus more on the directing side. None of my friends wanted to play the lead character because they're not into filmmaking and all that stuff. They pretty much did do this for me, but I know that they get a sense of satisfaction afterwards. But yeah, so I ended up playing the lead character, and I took acting classes before that because I wanted to be good. And even though I took acting classes, it was very bad. But I love acting, but I'm not good at it. So I'll work more on that aspect of filmmaking.
Yeah, we can't be good at everything, right?
Yeah,
And
no.
it's always like that, actually. It's always your best friends or closest friends that end up in your movies, even though they don't feel like it. It's always like that.
If
What do you
I
want to say?
calculate correctly, you're 19 now?
I'm 17 years old.
17? Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you consider your biggest inspiration in filmmaking?
Well, there's not like a specific person that I look up to like as a god, but I would say
No,
maybe
no
David.
one says actually that they have multiple, like one person.
Yeah,
They all have multiple.
it's very difficult like to pick one. Especially, yeah, but David Fincher for sure. Like especially like the first movie that I saw uh, that I really like was eye opening, and was Fight Club. When I saw Fight Club for the first time, like I remember at the end of the film, like feeling like, whoa, that's exactly what I want to do in life. Like, oh my god, that's so what I want to do in life. Yeah. Then I would say Christopher Nolan, just because that's exactly the type of movies that I want to make. Like as movies that are somewhat complicated to understand, and yeah, express like complex ideas and complex things to understand. But yeah, I really like Christopher Nolan, and also Denis Villeneuve, which is one of my probably my big my favorite director. If I had to pick one in those three, yeah.
What was the biggest challenge on one of your set, and how did you overcome it?
Well, it's always challenging because I don't work with professional actors. I work with my friends and I work with my parents. A lot of the time with my parents. and obviously they're not really into filmmaking, and they're not as passionate about it as I am, and it's always hard to kind of manage and balance the fun aspect of it and the kind of more serious and productive aspect, you know. uh, Especially with my parents, they get bored like at the third take, and I'm very perfectionist. I can easily go when I film myself like 25 takes because I really want it to be perfect. But when I work with my parents, I get like they're not into it, and when we get to like take four, they start like baggering and like, oh no, it's too long, and so I respect that, and I'm very grateful that I have parents that are willing to act and being on the internet. So yeah, but I
That's also part of it.
kind of managing like both words, you know.
Uh, I would also recommend that you start trying to find actors. They don't need to be professional actors. You can just go on Facebook groups and say, "Hey, I'm a student cinematographer, and I want to do a short film this weekend. Is anyone available to?"
Uh,
Uh,
well, next summer I really want to do like another big project with real actors, but it would be very hard with the whole pandemic and all. I don't know if it's gonna work, but that's really want my goal. Like next year, it's really like
Next
working with
summer,
yeah next summer. Yeah.
I'm hopeful for next summer.
Yeah, yeah. I wish it's gonna be okay next
Oh,
summer.
yeah.
We have a movie to make.
We have multiple movies to make.
Oh yeah, a lot of them. And actually, if it happens that you have a screenplay, you want it revised, we can always help with that. We can even help with the production aspect of it, so that you can actually just direct.
Well,
Something that could be nice. We always like helping people, and since you're like 3 hours away, could be a project to add on our plate if it's not during our Shadow of the Conqueror shoot. Because yes, we're hopeful it's gonna happen this summer, next summer.
yo,
Good. Okay, so in any way, do you have a funny moment that happened on a set
yeah.
that you could
Well,
share with us?
with in the shooting of Time Jumpers, actually, it's kind of my fault because the angle was way wrong, and I really regret that angle. When my friend Oliver, who plays the main character without the mask on, punched the other guy, Julian, one of my other friends, on the ground. The angle that I shot was like way off. Like we it was so obvious that he wasn't punching him, but he wasn't like hitting him, and I should have like cut to a over shoulder shot because it's so much easier to hide
Yeah.
to sell that effect. And it was very obvious that he wasn't punching him. So I told him like, "Hey, could you like maybe uh, punch him closer?" And
I
Julian,
can see it coming.
his hands is like so close to my face already, and I was like, "Okay, we'll try it, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna use the first take, which I end up using." He punched him like real hard in the face, for real, and it was so hilarious. I remember like merely peeing in my pants, and he got up like he was so stunned. He was moving like that, and I don't remember if he was bleeding, but I don't think so. But he was crying because obviously he was hit in the nose, like, and it was so funny. We laughed like so much. Yeah,
Did you
I
use
Well,
it?
that's also what I was gonna recommend. Just have him hit him for real, just once.
no, but I
Yeah.
ended up like cutting 2 frames, I think, uh, of the punch to like make it more impactful, and uh, because I shot it on a tripod, I put like a handheld effect, and I also added sound effect, which really helps. Like without the sound effect, and also they were always like I remember they were always like making those sounds. They were like screaming at them like, "No, don't do this because we're
We're
gonna
gonna see your mouth. Yeah.
and we're gonna see your mouth." But they couldn't stop like making those sounds. It was so funny.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah. And that's hard because when you're around friends and all that, all of that, you goof around. It's very hard to be like serious, but obviously I'm making those short films just for me and purely for fun because I enjoy it. Like that's why I use like songs that I like and that are not non-copyright songs because I just don't care about it. And I think like to get a strike, you have to have like 1,000 subscribers or so on YouTube, I believe. I'm not at that. I'm like at 90 subscribers, so I'm way far from that. And so yeah, I just put everything that I
So
like.
if you
And
like Tristan's films, go and subscribe to his channel. Looks
yeah,
like
I
he
would
needs some
highly
help to get a
appreciate your
copyright
help.
strike.
Yeah, he need it. He wants the copyright strike. And then he's gonna come to us and Zach and be like, "Okay, could you do my music?" A question I never asked anyone before: if you could have any comedian, which three would you pick? First for your protagonist, second for your antagonist, and the support.
It's very tough. It's a very tough question. But for my protagonist, I would go with either Jake Gyllenhaal or Ryan Gosling because these are my at the moment two of my favorite actors. They act in pretty much every Denis Villeneuve film, so that's a big aspect too.
Who would be your bad guy?
I would go with Al Pacino. I don't know because
Oh,
I just love him when he plays like bad guys, like in the Devil's Advocate. It's one of my favorite movies of all time too.
who would be your support actor?
I would go with Brad Pitt. I don't know if
Oh
he
yeah,
would
Brad Pitt as a
As a
support.
match
support.
all of those actors, but Brad Pitt, in my opinion, is one of the best supporting actors of all time. But in especially like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, dude, he was so great as a supporting actor, and I just love him so much. Like in Fight Club, he's so great as Tyler Durden. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Actually, if I had to choose a supporting actor, I would always go with Morgan Freeman.
Mm-mm. I do love me some titty sprinkles.
uh,
He's just perfect. And he never grow old. He's already old. And he keeps getting younger. Like if you look at it, he's never really older. And he sleeps on set. That's even better.
I heard that like he sleeps between like takes.
Yeah. Yeah, at some point he was sleeping in an interview, and when they woke him up, he just said, "Oh no, no, it's okay. It's those kind of new glasses." And I was watching. I was looking at my Facebook. He's amazing. I love Morgan Freeman. Where did your inspiration come for Time Jumper? Did it came from Looper?
No, it didn't came from Looper. A lot of my inspiration comes from music, and every like film that I watch, I try to watch at least one movie a day, and usually the I listen to the soundtrack afterwards and pick like the best songs that I love. But for that particular short, there's always I try to find always a new kind of trick or effect that I can do in Final Cut because I edit all my stuff in Final Cut Pro. And for that particular short film, I learned how to do that hologram effect on Final Cut Pro. I really wanted to do a short film around that hologram effect.
Okay.
I really love like time traveling stuff and movies and like I don't know why, but just like killing yourself. Don't know why, but a lot of my movies are based on killing your past self or a future. It's weird, but I don't know why I have this obsession with killing myself.
While killing your past self or future self, not
You
yourself
must
exactly.
kill the past to go
Also,
forwards.
grandparent, grandfather paradox. Like when you come back in the past and kill your past self, are you going to die or going to live? Like I was obsessed with that like paradox, and I wanted to create a story around all of these those stuff. And so yeah, I came up with that idea of a kind of a agent who works for a agency that comes back in time to kill like people that will affect the future in a negative way. He's being sent back to kill his own self, which he didn't know about. And yeah, pretty much it.
Well, I don't have any more question. Do you have any more question?
No, I'm good.
Do you have a question, Tristan?
No.
Is there a question that you want us to ask you?
No.
No, you're sure? Because we're not live, so we can't do it.
No.
You can cut everything and invent the question. No, you're good? Okay. So that was pretty much it for us, I guess.
So thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. Go and check out Tristan's channel. Like we said, we need to make him go over 1,000 subscribers so that
I would love to. Come on,
he gets a few copyright strikes, and then we can jump in and help him with his music.
Yeah, he will have no choice but come to us after that. So we have to make sure he gets a copyright strike.
Also, make sure to comment if you have any short films or directors, actors, technicians that you think we should interview on this show. We'd love to hear who you want us to interview. So we're probably gonna have a pause for a few weeks of the show because Christmas is coming.
So anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one, guys.